See if there's any more students in there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, how about now? Okay, good morning and welcome, muy bienvenidos, to the 2021 New Teacher Induction Ceremony from the College of Education and Human Development here at UTSA and the Office of Professional Preparation and Partnerships. So before we begin, let's have a big round of applause for the class of 2021. Very glad to be celebrating this with you today. We would like to welcome during this ceremony not only our new teachers but also their families and friends, our UTSA faculty and staff, as well as our school district partners. I'm Dr. Kristen Lindahl. I'm the Assistant Dean for Professional Preparation. I'm also an Associate Professor in Bicultural Bilingual Studies, and I will be the Master of Ceremonies for you this morning. And you can see any of our social media hashtags are at the bottom. We have UTSA Roadrunner Teachers Can, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If any of you would like to tag us in your social media, that would be awesome. As you celebrate, we'd love to feature our graduates and alumni. And before we begin our program, though, we would like to acknowledge just how challenging the last few years have been. Again, we're very proud of you for making it this far. We know it took a lot, and for you to make it today with all of the shifts between online, in-person, everything that was going on in the K-12 schools in which you conducted your field-based experiences and your clinical teaching, and also, your patience and compassion for the faculty members and staff that you also work with. So we will take a moment of silent reflection to recognize and also remember students, families, faculty, and friends who have recently left us. Thank you for that. So during today's ceremony, you'll hear from educators in the co-ed who are thrilled to celebrate this milestone with you. As you listen today and as you move forward in your career, know that all of the faculty and staff in the co-ed and in our professional preparation program are very proud of you and so grateful to have shared in your journey. First, we'd like to recognize our district partnerships. You can see there are many districts with whom we work. Probably see some of the districts that you work with, and hopefully will work for on this slide. We'd like to acknowledge the hard work of the Office of Professional Preparation and Partnerships, led by Dr. Belinda Bustos-Flores. We also have Dr. Lorena Kleis, who's the Director of Clinical Professional Experiences, Dr. Tiffany Vargas-Sokolovsky, who is our Assistant Professor of Instruction, Dr. David Thompson, Assistant Dean of Schools and Community Partnerships, Dr. Michael Basinga, Director of Assessment and Program Accountability, Dr. Yuna DeBoop, Assistant Director of Preclinical Field Experiences, and Ms. Kimberly Perez, Assistant Director of our Education and our Education Certification Officer. So many of you might know Kim already. She's going to help you get those certifications. So now we will hear from the Dean of the College of Education and Human Development, Dr. Mario Torres.
Good morning. Congratulations, felicidades to our graduates, our 2021 graduates. What an achievement. What an important milestone. If I could take an individual picture of you before you actually go into the profession and do a pre and post, that would be wonderful. 10, 20, 30 years from now. But you're about to embark on what I consider to be one of the most fulfilling careers that anyone could ever choose. And I'll talk a little bit about maybe your story. I'm sure that your stories here converge in some way. They also diverge. And I think that as you enter this profession, you mustn't forget that each of you has an individual story. So I want to thank Dr. Lindahl, and wish you all a good morning, and on behalf of the College of Education and Human Development, and I'm very pleased to be here. And the UTSA, the co-ed faculty staff, and UTSA community, which includes over 100,000 alumni, are very proud of each and every one of you, the class of 2021. And as Dr. Lindahl had alluded to, each of you has worked incredibly hard during this period. Perhaps some of you can think about those hurdles, the risks, the obstacles that you endured on your path to this point. I want to congratulate you on the completion of your professional education program and your successful completion of clinical teaching, essentially the culminating event of our education programs. I want to sincerely thank you also for choosing UTSA for your journey. And we trust that your hard work in this context has prepared you for the next steps on your career path, whatever they might be. I envision you entering your classrooms as newly minted teachers, becoming community leaders, working throughout San Antonio and beyond. So I want you to take a moment and reflect back to when you decided that you wanted to be a teacher. Trying to meet some of your eyes. And we really, I think, I want you to be as introspective as you can. But to also think about maybe something that moved you in some way, inspired you in a deep and personal way. Your family, your culture and heritage, a pivotal experience in your life, or simply your desire to want to make the world a better place to live. These experiences are not only identity shaping, but also shape your worldview on the world and how you feel the world should be. So, as you begin your career, a path that may take you in many different directions, I want you to take a deep breath and find some time to celebrate this monumental feat with your friends and loved ones. Set aside time in your life to absorb the enormity of what you just achieved. You deserve this. You've earned this. Actually, this realization may not come quickly, but it will eventually, I promise you that. I think you'll discover that the most gratifying and defining moments of this never-ending journey that you're on still await you and can be distilled to one question. And that question is, what will be the continuation of your story in transforming lives? Guiding principles for this can really be quite simple. Prioritize people, humanize your work, and help others in need. My advice to you, embrace the journey wherever it takes you. Always take with you your memories of the best days and the bad ones as well. Always take with you the professional that you are, and always remember there's always room to continue growing, learning, and becoming. I want to just focus on the word journey for a moment. Well, there are many variations and definitions of the word journey. The one definition I would like to focus on is this one: a passage or progress from one stage to another. Each of you has chosen this journey of becoming a teacher for a reason. Was it someone or something that led you on this path? What is it that excites you about the idea of becoming a teacher? I want you to briefly reflect on that. What is it that has brought you to this point of your journey to become a teacher? When you are in your career, always use this reason as a touchstone, a reminder of why you became the teacher. I'm often reminded by a quote in a book I recently read by a wonderful lady who spoke about this journey. And she said, should we work for the world as it is, or should we work for the world as it should be? Profoundly different question for the latter. Truly, this is the power of the teacher and the importance of our approaching our students with empathy, with respect, and with the unwavering belief that each and every one of our students is the best student we will ever have. And that job is to facilitate their growth and development and create that classroom climate that de-escalates, that humanizes, that heals. To conclude, I want to take a moment to thank the people who helped you get to this point. And I see you here. Your world-class professors, the staff in the department offices who are in the background but doing the incredibly essential work, and those in the dean's office who often work behind the scenes and in front of the scenes to help things run smoothly. And most of all, for those of you who are joining us in the live stream, your family, your friends watching from home. They all played a role and lent a hand in some way to enable you to reach this critical milestone. So, as you move forward, I hope that you carry the lessons learned here at UTSA and build upon them as you develop and grow as a professional. Remember that commencement does not mean end, it means beginning. It's an absolute joy to be here. I wish each of you all the success. Congratulations to all of you. Godspeed. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Dean Torres, for your insightful remarks, reminding us of the journey and of teaching as the ultimate act of optimism. So, we will now hear from Dr. Belinda Bustos Flores, who is the Associate Dean for Professional Preparation and Partnerships. She's also the Principal Investigator and Founder of the Academy for Teacher Excellence. Those of you might see some ATE masks floating around. That's from the Academy for Teacher Excellence. And she is also a professor of Bicultural Bilingual Studies. So let's have Dr. Flores join us to talk about our conceptual.
Buenos días, bienvenidos a UTSA. Nosotros estamos alegres que nos acompañan hoy para celebrar nuestros docentes, maestros en su preparación, porque han llegado a una meta y que pronto se van a recibir como maestros y maestras. We're so elated that you have joined us today to celebrate our clinical teachers as they have reached their goals. One of the goals, I know many of you went to commencement, and now this is the induction into the profession. And you will soon be certified teachers. Dr. Price told me that many of you have already been offered jobs, and this is fantastic, so we'll celebrate that as well. And at UTSA, we have a lot to celebrate. You know, everyone has heard how our UTSA football team is nationally ranked, and they're going off to another bowl, and this is great. But the College of Education and Human Development also has many accolades that I would like to share with you. Number one, I'll start with the Department of Bicultural Bilingual Studies, which prepares bilingual and ESL teachers. And all of you take courses from that department. It is nationally ranked number 2 in bilingual, multilingual, and multicultural education by the Hispanic Outlook magazine. The Department of Educational Leadership and Policy Studies, which prepares principals and superintendents. Yes, we should clap. Is ranked number 26 by U.S. News and World Report. You say, well, okay, I'm not becoming a principal just yet or superintendent just yet. But you take a course out of that department as well. And then the Department of Interdisciplinary Learning and Teaching. They have also the early childhood faculty who have high quality professional preparation and are NAYC accredited, and that's very important, National Association of the Education of Young Children. And then their master's program also in that prepares for the reading specialist track in the MA program, also has been recognized and received the national recognition with distinction from the International Literacy Association. So I wanted to tell you that because maybe that's not on a billboard, but be proud that you're graduating from the UTSA and the College of Education and Human Development, and like Dean Thorpe said, world-class faculty who are actively engaged in not only research but in your education. They're invested in the curriculum and all we do here at UTSA. And let's not forget all our clinical supervisors. Sometimes people don't see them as faculty, but they are. And our clinical supervisors, as you know, are there for you as you go through this journey of a clinical teacher, the year-long journey for some of you, the traditional semester for some of you, but they're there to help you, and I know Dr. Price is also there to help you as you sometimes tumble or fall, or just worry about, am I doing things right? And they're highly invested in all of you. And then lastly, our educator preparation program, which you all are all a part of, was designated as a Texas Education Agency vetted residency program. And what does it mean? Well, a lot of you, I think over 60–70% are the year-long clinical teaching, and that's what that means, that we're recognized as leading. Here at UTSA, we don't follow, we lead. We were one of the very first universities in San Antonio at the undergraduate level to have year-long clinical teaching. And yeah, I know that some of you were asked, well, why aren't you doing it like whatever university? Well, we don't follow, we lead. And you, as future educators and teachers, will lead. We have our conceptual framework that we say, and you've been exposed to, that our graduates will be culturally efficacious of change, which are knowledgeable, community-based, and professional. Again, I'm going to go back to football. I like football, but you know, they talk about their triangle of toughness. Well, we have our own triangle, and we call these competencies, and you have been asked to demonstrate these competencies throughout your program. So what are they? Being knowledgeable, being community-based, and being professional. Our clinical teachers, you were challenged to demonstrate your knowledge and your capacity to deliver, prepare to support in person, and sometimes online. If you started your clinical teaching last semester in the spring, most of you were still a lot in online or hybrid. So then you will be much more prepared for the next time that something occurs that we have to go online. But you also know how to teach in person. I know you also know how to teach if you were just given like they used to say, a piece of chalk and a chalkboard. We don't have that so much, but maybe you're given a marker and a whiteboard. We have received many accolades from your mentor teachers praising your dedication and tenacity. The same is true about the principals. You know, another accolade that we have is that, you know, they rate our program, our educator preparation program, by different criteria. One of them is the passing rate. Well, we surpassed the state average passing rate in terms of first time passing on the different Texas exams, We also do very well on how our principals rate our first year teachers. So next year you'll be a first year teacher and your principal will be evaluating you on the T-test. You'll be very familiar with the T-test because you've been evaluated with the C-test, which parallels very closely. So we did very well there. We also did very well on how, last semester, on the impact of our first year teachers on students, and that's very important. So it's great that you are successful, but ultimately the success, we measure our success on how your students are successful. Because you are the one that are going to be there holding their hand, helping them through their journey as they stumble and fall, and also celebrate with them their successes. So we're proud to say that you as clinical teachers have demonstrated that you're culturally efficacious agents of change and that you have adapted to the new demands of all kinds of instruction. This class of clinical teachers is recognized for all their hard work. A lot of you have to do your field work online or partially online, and so we worried that you were not going to have a full experience, but we're happy the type of experience that you have had in clinical teaching. We also know that you will be ready to assume the responsibilities of a first year teacher. A lot of universities and schools and places say, our teachers are ready day one. Well, you're ready day one and then before that. Because as you know, before teachers begin, there's some celebration, there's coming together of the districts to kick off the first year, but there's a lot of planning going on, thinking about curriculum, and you will be ready, I know, because you have been engaging in those activities. So, let's all applaud each other, everybody online, and let's clap for this wonderful group of clinical teachers. And just remember, UTSA Roadrunner Teachers can. Thank you.
Dr. Flores mentioned, it was a real pleasure to watch you all evolve in your professional identity during clinical teaching. So we will now hear from some of you. Some of you I think may be in the audience, but we'll hear from 5 clinical teachers about their experiences, and I'm sure you will be able to relate.
What got me interested in becoming an educator was my mom. She's been a teacher in San Antonio since I was about 8 years old. And I first came to UTSA for a business degree and realized I wasn't very happy with that. And it just kind of clicked in my head once I was volunteering at the school she was working at and how much I love working with children. And that's when I decided I want to become a teacher. So I was very fortunate that I got placed into a school by UTSA that is where I grew up in. So it's very close to home. It's a low income or low resources. And it's the way I grew up, And looking back at it, you don't realize as a child all the things that you're missing out of. But now giving back into that same community that I grew up in is so rewarding, and I'm so thankful that that's the school I got placed into. I love working with children, and I love to see the light bulbs clicking and my part in helping them develop their minds.
Kids are like a three-legged stool. They have their parent, which is one leg, their person in the community, which is their other leg, and their teacher, which is the third leg. And so as long as all 3 legs are equaling each other, that kid can be balanced and help themselves in life. And so I was like, I want to be a part of that student's growth and development. I learned through my program, actually, I learned a lot about critical race theory and how there is such a large gap in education. And it started making me question, okay, why is there this gap there? What can we do? And that's when everything just clicked, and I was like, I need to better myself. I need to better my words. I need to better my time and everything I do to give every student I have, give them that chance that they can all succeed. It is up to them, and I will give them all the resources they need.
So my experience, I have kind of an untraditional path. I didn't go straight from high school to college, and so I think that coming to UTSA, they gave me lots of opportunities to succeed, even though I have lots of things that maybe other students don't have. Like I have a family and crazy schedule and all of that. So they really helped the schedule and classes and being able to fit in everything I need to get for what I need for my degree through them. The program has prepared us to know why we should teach. I think that the how comes from clinical teaching, and what our philosophy is as individual teachers. It kind of helps us shape like what we wanted to do and what we don't want to do. And I think that that's something that is very powerful and important for us as we progress down the education path.
My experience in the classroom has been fantastic. My kiddos are the highlight of my day. They are so funny and bright, and it's fantastic just being around them and learning from them, because we learn so much from just being in a classroom with them. And some special moments have just been when they give you a hug, when they say they love you, when they say that they want to be a teacher because of you. That really makes you think about the choices that you've made and makes them very valid. One thing that we did in some of my higher level spec ed classes was the teachers collaborated, and that was great because we got to do field trips and see what adults do after they exit special education. So that was a really great moment for all of us, just to see what you can help them accomplish later on in life.
My students are absolutely incredible. Incredible individuals. It gives me so much hope for the future, just the resilience that they've shown this semester. And the fact that they're even still here in school after the years that we've had is just, it's amazing and inspiring at the same time. I feel that I'm learning more from them than they probably are from me. They have no clue, but it's just been an incredible process. A student came up to me and said that I was their favorite teacher. And the feeling that I got from that was just amazing. That made me realize why I'm here. The fact that I can impact a student's life inside the classroom, and hopefully that confidence that they gain will translate to outside the classroom, and just being able to make a young person a better student and a better person. That's something I don't take lightly. And it's been an absolute honor to do that this semester.
So now we'd like to share some words of congratulation from some people that you've spent a lot of time with in the last few years, your professors. So first, we would like to share our congratulations from the Department of Bicultural Bilingual Studies. So if you see a professor up there that you've had or you want to shout out, go ahead and give them a little round of applause now. And you'll also see a lot of familiar faces in the audience as well from the Department of Interdisciplinary Learning and Teaching, or the Department of ILT. And also, many of you have worked with our assistant professors of instruction, Dr. Claudia Garcia, Dr. Tiffany Cardia-Sokolowski, Dr. Jennifer Sawyer, and Dr. Lucinda Selma. Let's give them some Just know, for any teacher, your success is our success. So we are incredibly proud of you for making it to this point. We will now also add our congratulations. As Dr. Flores said, we could not do this without our wonderful clinical teacher supervisors. So let's give them the biggest round of applause. And now it's your turn. So for the next few minutes, we will display the certification areas followed by the teacher candidates who have earned that teacher certification this year with a little bit of music. So if you see your name or your best friend's name or anything like that, you want to give a shout out, go ahead during the ceremony. But we would like to recognize each and every one of you. Although we know that if you went to commencement, you sat through a lot of name readings. We're not going to read each one, but you will see each one as it goes by. And we will begin that now. We'll start with our elementary or early childhood, through 6th grade certification, and then move up toward the secondary grades from there. Recognize our outstanding clinical teachers and grad spotlights.
All right, this is exciting I know that everyone did an outstanding job, but we want to recognize those that did a super outstanding job. And so here we are, outstanding teachers for DC6 certification, and if you're here or it's online, Jillian, Marie, Michael Cavera. Julian Diaz, the front. And Gabriela Pavon. And then from 4th grade, ELR Social Studies, Tatiana Lehman. And Melanie Rio. Additional spotlight. This is Dorisbel Lopez Betancourt. And Haley Caballero. And then for EC12 Art, Gloria Chavera. EC6 Melissa Flynn. Ariana de la Torre. Neima Garcia. And then subteacher residence, Diana Navarro. And Sarah Sobo. And then Rebecca Garcia. And Megan Graciano. Bilingual, Danny Bonilla. Bilingual, Ana Loredo. And then our technical teacher is Kristen Bella. Jennifer Rome. Some more. Core Logan Stevens. Lisa Villa Highness.
Rejoice.
EC60 Estelle. And then before we get to the affirmation, some of you warriors, so stand up and y'all are being so shy. And, you know, when you're gonna have kids, you're gonna have to get them going and stand up and take an applause. You know, those stoves are important. Please stand. Many of you service in the different groups that we have, and a lot of volunteerism. And I know that each and every one of you did a lot of hard work, and so we, again, want to recognize everybody. So let me call Dr. Ryan and Dr. Sanchez to help us with the teacher affirmation. And Dr. Mental. And Dr. Torres as well. And we're gonna, you have a little bookmark, and we're gonna do one.
All right, you ready? Teacher affirmation. I will treat each and every student with respect, kindness, and compassion, and expect to be treated respectfully in return. I will keep in mind the vital role I play in my students' lives, remembering that I have the opportunity to make a meaningful and positive difference in each student's life. I will approach my students as individuals without prejudgment, and I will work to bring out the best in each of them. I will keep myself open to acquiring new skills and information so that I may continue to learn, continue to grow, and continue to be the best I can be. Congratulations.
I just want to say that you really need to think about how hard you work to get here. I was just realizing we haven't gathered like this for a teacher induction ceremony in several semesters, it's 4 semesters now, and that this is the group that's had the last almost 2 years of work online. So for you to be here, standing, sitting, ready to get out there, become a teacher, and your faith is still in the future students that you will have, I'm just really truly amazed that you are the group that has been so resilient in all this, and at a time when we need that from you, we need that connection from you, and for you to have that fortitude, it's just truly amazing. You have really gone through a marathon that no other teacher program has gone through in at least 100 years, right? We haven't had a pandemic in 100 years, so I'm just thoroughly impressed that you're here, standing, ready to go and get there to be with your colleagues who are out there also waiting and ready for you, and future students and families. I echo what Dr. Sanchez just expressed there, and my deep gratitude to all of you for just continuing to work alongside us and educators in the schools and being there for children who really needed you this year, and who will continue to need you. And I hope you learned mutually from them, as we heard in the video. I think everyone's learning from each other, and this is a really important moment in education where this is the moment to make a difference. Unlike many, we always say that in education, but I think we can feel that that's happening right now. So good luck to each one of you. You've worked hard, and I appreciate you all, and have a good break. Take a break. We'd just like to wrap up. We do want to acknowledge Libby Castillo is our Communications and Development Coordinator, who helps us put together this wonderful show in technology. So thank you, Libby. And she is joined by Lisa Marie Romo, who also is an incredible And in our final remarks and slide, of course, we would just really appreciate having this opportunity with you this morning on kind of a cold, a Texas cold, rainy morning. And again, we are, applauding you and your family's commitment to your studies, to yourselves as lifelong learners and agents of change, to the youth of the world, and the critical role of education in moving toward a more just and equitable society. So with that said, we would like to take a picture of all of us together. As Dr. Flores mentioned, Libby will be our photographer. We will go to the inside stairs, just right here where that tile mosaic wall is, so we can all kind of squeeze in on the stairs if you're comfortable. Please do join us. Faculty and staff and supervisors will be there as well. If you want to say, one last thank you or goodbye to professors, then please do. But also stay in touch via social media, or if you have a success story or just something you want to share as an alumni or alumna, you can use the email right there. And don't forget that now and forever, you are a Roadrunner. So we'll see you all in the future.